So let's get into it now. Lions and Steelers. Hey, Steelers got a break last night. Baltimore goes down to Miami and loses a football game. And now you look up, and if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, a win over the Lions gets you even in the AFC North.
Well, it's a beautiful gift for the Steelers, let's face it. That was a game that the Ravens were decidedly favored in, and if you look at this and you say, well, if there's a lesson to be learned, nobody can be taken lightly, that's for sure. That includes the Lions, that includes the Dolphins, that includes any team in the NFL.
Tell us about Mike Tomlin and how he's going to get this team ready to play a winless team.
Well, I think the biggest thing about it is understanding that you are going to personalize the battles. You know, you come off a week like the Chicago Bears win, and that's a problem. They barely squeaked that one out. So you've got to make sure that as you prepare for the Detroit Lions, you personalize those battles, put a face to them. Even though he's famous for saying faceless and nameless type great faces, that sort of thing. Back in my day, Coach Noel would be always about making and personalizing the individual battles. Who's going to win those battles? And that puts a peer pressure added to, the getting ready to play a game. And those guys, they will indeed rise to the challenge, I'm sure.
Speaking of Chuck Noll, in my lifetime, there's been Chuck Noll, there's been Bill Cowher, and there's been Mike Tomlin. Then you take my life here in Detroit. I moved here in '93. I think we probably had 10 since 1993.
Probably more than that.
It's just amazing how one team like Pittsburgh, and of course the proof is in the pudding. How does that happen over these years? Is it the ownership of the Rooneys all these years that have kept this team together?
Well, I think you look at it and you say, when you signed Chuck Noll in 1969, did you really think that you were signing 3 future Hall of Fame coaches in a row? How do you? I don't. All I can say is that the organization is so very strong. Dan Rooney, DMR, the ambassador. There's a lot of Rooneys, let me tell you. And
starts with art.
The organization has just been so strong and solid since I've been there, and that includes the chief way back.
Talking to Craig Wolfley, Steelers radio analyst, 12-year NFL veteran, part of the Steelers All-Centry team. Craig, I wanted to ask you about this current Steelers team. How are they winning games? They're one of 2 teams in the NFL right now that have a winning record, but if you look at their plus-minus, they've actually given up more points than they've scored. How are they winning these games? 4 wins in a row, second only to the Tennessee Titans' 5-game win streak.
It's about cobbling some victories together. They have not played their best game by anybody's stretch of the imagination. But it starts at the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. The last 4 games in a row, he's thrown for nearly 1,000 yards, 6 TDs. The important thing is no interceptions. Defensively speaking, they've had an issue with first half and second half. They've been outscored in the second half. They've done a much better job in the first half. So they've got some trends there that they have to deal with and find out what the culprit is. But offensively, again, it's about, you got a lot of young people. Your center's a rookie. Your left tackle's a rookie. Your running back is a rookie. Your tight end is a rookie. That's a lot of youth to have on an offensive unit.
Well, defensively, you go to the other side of the ball. Somebody who's not a rookie is T.J. Watt. What's it like to watch that guy play football each and every week?
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
This guy is really a pro's pro. You can see there's something about having an older brother that was a defensive player of the year, I'm sure, but he conducts himself as a true professional in all aspects of the game. And to watch him pass rush, and you watch how he goes about trying to try different moves and set up an offensive tackle, it's a lot of fun. Whether it's hand fighting, bull rushing, the speed to power rush, the spin, any of the twists, those sorts of things, he's very capable and able. And he's got the game brains. When the X's and O's get moving, that's where game brains come in. Playbooks are one thing where you can look at the play and see it on a sheet of paper or on a tablet. But when the X's and O's start moving, it's having that game sense. And he just seems to have a samurai sixth sense about what's going on.
Craig, tell us about that big rookie tight end, Pat Freiermuth from Penn State. I mean, this kid has really come to play, especially, and he's kind of loving it. The fans at Heinz Field are cheering his name, just like Heath Miller back in the day. And he looks like he is the perfect Steelers tight end going forward.
You know, that's a great observation. This young man has really come on. It's really about Ben and Pat building that trust, because every quarterback, every offensive coordinator that you talk to, it is so much trust. They are not going to put the ball in jeopardy by throwing it at a young guy who they aren't sure is going to be where he should be. But you watch Pat, especially operating in the red zone. He learns he knows how to body up. He runs a nice out pattern out in the field, where he doesn't allow a guy to undercut him, because he makes a hard 90-degree turn rather than rounding the corner. He knows how to body up on the inside, like almost a basketball player, and present a target to Ben over the middle. So these things are all they work it together, and they just seem to have that mental telepathy going on. They know what each other's going to do in the tight situations, and he's proven he's reliable.
Craig Wolfley joins us, Pittsburgh radio analyst, former player, was in the Ring of Honor there at Heinz Field as well. I wanted to ask you about T.J. Watt going against probably the Lions rookie.
Oh, excuse me, guys, I'm not a Ring of Honor guy. I just want to make sure you're under that.
All-Century team. Sorry, I gave you a little bit more.
All-Century team's good enough.
All-Century team.
Thank you.
Hey,
for the sake of journalistic integrity, we'll roll that.
I tried to give you a little bit more. I'm sorry there, Craig.
Bless your heart.
Thanks, man. How about T.J. Watt against our rookie right tackle this week, Penei Sewell? What is he going to be in for?
Well, he's going to have a guy that's going to engage with his hands before he gets to helmet-to-helmet contact. He's also going to take throw a couple of uppercut moves around running the arc. I would expect a spin or two, and there's trapping of the hands that I think you're going to see a lot of different moves that Penny might not have seen in college.
What are the chances on the Lions winning this game? I know anyone could win a game. Miami won last night, but they were home. And, Baltimore off the short week. I don't know. Do the Lions have a chance to win this game in reality?
Which Steelers team shows up, basically?
In reality.
I hope it's just a winning Steelers team. Look at you talk about reality. Look, I went in '83. We went in there on Thanksgiving Day thinking we had a great chance to win. You know what? It got bad real quick. So I look at this and I say, you got a puncher's chance. That's what it is. You have some excellent offensive weapons with your tight end, Hawkinson. You've got DeAndre Swift, who's a guy that you have to take account of. And Jared Goff, for whatever we want to say, the young man, when he gets hot, he can still sling it. So I look at this game, and I think to myself, if I was with the Detroit Lions, I am so ready to come off the bye week and deliver a little bit of pain to somebody else rather than what we're suffering as a team. That's what they're looking for, and I find it an interesting matchup, because I don't think the Lions are going to come out and not show up. I think they're going to come out roaring, for lack of a better term.
Hey, last thing, Craig. I don't know if were you around? Were you in the booth when Myron Cope was around?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was some guy, man, with a terrible towel. That's his invention, isn't it?
That is his invention. As a matter of fact, he told the great story. He went to the great Andy Russell, who was a linebacker for the Steelers.
Of course.
Way back in the 70s, and he said, Andy says, I got this towel idea. And you have to understand, Myron had a real funny voice.
Oh, yeah.
A little guy. What do you think about this towel, Russell? What do you think? And now think about Andy Russell, who's extremely well in business, right? He looked at Myron and goes, that's a gimmick, Cope. Cope, that'll never work.
It'll never work. They sell it with his name on it now, right?
Well, he deeded over all receipts of that towel to his school, where one of his children attended a special school, and all the money that is from the towels being sold goes to that school.
That's awesome.
So it's amazing. They've sold millions of dollars worth of towels.
Craig Wolfley, one of the great Steelers of all time. Steelers,
but not in the Ring of Honor.
But not in the Ring of Honor.
Right.
Steelers radio analyst. And Craig, we joke because if you live here in Detroit and you're a Lions fan, everybody who's a Lions fan has a second NFL team. It's the way you survive football season. And for most people here in Detroit, I think their second team is the Steelers. So maybe some torn Lions fans this weekend as they head to Pittsburgh.
Well, I do indeed look forward to it, and always enjoyed playing against the Lions, except for when Jerry Ball was on the other side of the line.
Number 93, Jerry Ball. We loved it. Craig, thanks so much. We'll hope to do this again sometime soon. All right, bud?
Good luck, man.
Best of luck.
Thank you, fellas. Take care.
You got it. Best of luck down the road to the Pittsburgh Steelers.